Hey everyone, I am Pratima and Realme is back at making flagship phones again. The last time I remember Realme had a proper flagship phone was this phone, the Realme GT 2 Pro, and we all know it didn't do that well. It was often available for heavy discounts for as low as 25,000 rupees. Anyway, nearly 3 years later, Realme has launched its flagship GT 7 Pro, and this is the first phone in India to launch with Snapdragon's brand new 8 Elite chipset. It's also priced quite competitively at around 60,000 rupees, and with all the bank discounts and launch offers, you should get this phone for an even lower price. We are hearing rumors that iQOO 13 is going to be priced a little bit higher than the iQOO 12, so the Realme GT 7 Pro might just be the cheapest Snapdragon 8 Elite phone in 2025. And despite the aggressive price, I like how Realme has provided everything inside the box, from a nice cover, a pre-applied screen protector, as well as a compatible 120-watt charger. Now, since the most hyped thing about this phone is its chipset, let's talk about that first. And if you have watched my detailed comparison of the Snapdragon 8 Elite with the Apple A18 Pro and Dimensity 9400, you will know that the Snapdragon 8 Elite is a beast, be it in terms of benchmarks, overall stability, or gaming. I have played all sorts of games from mid-tier to the most demanding on this thing, and I have to say the FPS and especially the 1% lows are very impressive. You can see how the Realme GT 7 Pro outperforms the iPhone 16 Pro Max in games like PUBG, that too with a better stability score. Even playing Genshin Impact in the highest of settings is not an issue on this phone. I was able to get a stable 60 FPS, which has never happened before with any phone. And since the Snapdragon 8 Elite promises big things in terms of ray tracing too, I played War Thunder, and once again I was able to achieve nice FPS numbers and very stable results. Likewise, be it rendering videos or running the most extensive benchmarks, I have never seen the Realme GT 7 Pro struggle to maintain that power even once. It does heat up though. I have recorded a maximum of 48 to 49 degrees when I played Genshin Impact for more than 45 minutes, and things like recording 4K 60 FPS video with full brightness heat up the phone as well. Realme says they have included a big vapor chamber cooling solution here, and in my 7 days of use, I have received a couple of updates already to fix the thermal issues, and after the update, I have recorded the temperature to be a degree or two cooler. Hopefully, future updates will stabilize the thermal performance even more. But while doing normal tasks like using social media, even on mobile data, the Realme GT 7 Pro does not heat up or throttle. The new Realme UI based on Android 15 feels extremely smooth and fast, and Realme has optimized the UI very well here, so I have actually enjoyed using this phone quite a lot. The only complaint I have with Realme is that even though this is their most expensive smartphone till date, they have not let go of things like bloatware, app recommendations, etc. So once I booted up this phone, the first thing I did was turn off recommendations and uninstall unnecessary apps, which took a while, and finally I was able to get a cleaner experience. I am also a little disappointed that Realme has only promised 3 years of OS and 4 years of security updates with the Realme GT 7 Pro. With the kind of power and performance that the Snapdragon 8 Elite has, the phone could easily run for 5 to 6 more years. So because of this, the resale value might go down, as we saw with the Realme GT 2 Pro, right? Now, besides the performance and software, most other aspects of this phone are quite premium too, starting with the design. You are getting a very nice looking glass plus aluminum design here. This orange color looks particularly good as well. Realme has not specified which glass protection there is on the back, and on the front too, you only get the Gorilla Glass 7i, so it's not as robust as the Victus 2. So yeah, in this aspect, Realme definitely seems to have cut corners. But there is an official IP68 as well as IP69 rating, which means other than being able to submerge the phone in water for a certain time, the GT 7 Pro is also able to handle high temperature, high speed water jets as well, so that is nice. Overall, it's a premium looking phone, but what's great here is that Realme has fitted in a massive 6500 mAh battery here, and still the phone does not feel that heavy. Yes, it has a definite weight to it, but it does not feel like you're carrying a phone with a 6500 mAh cell. This is because the Realme GT 7 Pro has a silicon carbon battery, which means it can fit in a larger capacity in a smaller form factor, unlike the traditional graphite-based technology that is heavier and consumes more space. So with this new tech, we are going to see a lot of companies using 7,000 or even 8,000 mAh silicon carbon batteries in their upcoming phones. Anyway, the mammoth-sized battery on the GT 7 Pro means that I am getting amazing battery life on this phone. I am actually easily getting 8 to 9 hours of screen on time with this phone on normal usage, while on days I was a little conservative, I achieved a whopping 10 hours, which is just awesome. Charging the GT 7 Pro was not a long wait either. The phone gets charged fully in about 40 minutes with the included 120-watt charger. Moving on, Realme has tried to provide a great display as well. This is one of the brightest Android screens that I have ever used. The phone boasts a whopping 6,500 nits of peak brightness, while it can go up to 2,000 nits in the auto mode, which means even if I am using the phone in the brightest of environments, I did not have any issues when it comes to visibility. Plus, the Realme GT 7 Pro has all the features a flagship display would have. This is a Samsung-made display with 1.5K resolution, HDR10+, Dolby Vision, 120% DCI-P3 color coverage, and Realme says that this is a highly energy-efficient screen as well. Another interesting thing I noticed is that every BBK group brand, be it Vivo, iQOO, OnePlus, Oppo, and even Realme, has shifted to a more advanced ultrasonic in-display fingerprint sensor instead of optical ones for their flagship phones. In case you're not aware, ultrasonic fingerprint sensors are faster, they work with wet hands, and they do not throw in high beam light to unlock, which is why they're considered better than optical ones. I did try to submerge the phone in water and then unlock it, and I am happy to report that it works just fine. This is also an LTPO display, and Realme has maintained even bezels here, which really makes a huge impact on the overall content viewing experience. The stereo speakers here are decently loud and crisp without any distortion in the highest volumes. It's not as good as the one you would get on iPhones, but it's definitely not average. Even the haptics here is very, very impactful. The GT 7 Pro has borrowed Oppo's O-haptics technology, so besides normal typing or while ringing, the phone has nicely integrated vibration in the UI elements as well, like when you're switching tabs while multitasking, increasing the volume, interacting with the taskbar items, everything. I have to say, it is such a pleasant experience. Okay, finally, let's talk about the cameras. And while Realme has been doing such a great job with everything, I wish the company was a little more versatile with the camera setup as well. What I mean is, Realme has included a nice 50-megapixel primary camera, an equally impressive telephoto lens, both of which are high-end Sony sensors with OIS, but at the same time, there is a measly 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, which is quite average, to be honest. I know it might not seem like that big of an issue, but this 8-megapixel sensor limits a lot of things, like being able to switch between lenses while shooting a 4K footage or just average image quality in general. Anyway, the primary camera on the Realme GT 7 Pro is really good. The color optimization and all are not different from other Realme phones, but the high-end ISP and DSP of Snapdragon 8 Elite definitely seems to help. You can see here in these images that they have really nice clarity, the colors are poppy and vibrant, and the phone is able to maintain good dynamic range too. As I mentioned earlier, I have received a couple of updates on this phone already, and that has definitely improved on things like dynamic range, so I am happy about that. It's just that the phone sometimes is not able to handle the whites very well, and I wish the focus area was a little wider, but other than that, like 90% of the time, you will get good images from it. I also went a little overboard and compared the Realme GT 7 Pro's camera with the Samsung Galaxy S24, and I am happy to report that except for some difficult situations, the Realme GT 7 Pro actually managed to compete very well. In fact, most of the time I was getting better 3x portraits from this than the S24. I know it's a little hard to believe, but the skin tone and skin texture are actually more natural on Realme. Talking more about this telephoto zoom lens, you can use it to shoot some nice macro shots as well. Most brands use the ultra-wide-angle lens to shoot macros, but the ultra-wide-angle camera here lacks autofocus, so that is not possible. Realme also allows zooming up to 120x, but since this is not a periscope lens, the output is only usable up to 10x. Other than that, it's just okay. Nighttime photos, however, are impressive from the GT7 Pro. You don't even need to use night mode in most situations. The images are nice and crisp by themselves. The selfies are only okay though. There's a little pinkish tone on the skin, and also there's a little bit of weird sharpness, which is not my cup of tea, but you might feel differently. So here are some more samples for you to judge.
Talking about the selfie videos, you can only shoot at up to 1080p 60 fps and you cannot go more than that, and the output even at 1080p 60 fps is quite cropped, so this most likely is not your ideal vlogging camera, I would say.
From the back, there's a 4K 60 FPS option, and unlike the selfie videos, they come out nice and stable. They are a little cropped and there's a little bit of movement jitter, but that's just me nitpicking. You can get some nice videos from this phone. Alright everybody, let's wrap up things now, and I think the Realme GT7 Pro can have that sweet spot in the semi-flagship segment. I really do think that. I like how they have tried to max out all the specs, whether it is in the display, the performance, the battery and the haptics. Plus, they are constantly working on fixing the issues, and a lot of updates have come forth to improve the cameras. So I am happy about the effort the company is putting in to make this a worthy device. Especially for the gamers, you will be able to get the absolute best bang for the buck FPS here. Even photography enthusiasts will have a good time with this phone. But remember, it's not flagship level though. I only wish Realme had done 3 things right though. Number 1, given at least 5 years of update commitment, and of course a higher res ultra wide angle camera and 4K recording option from its front camera would not have hurt Realme's pocket that much. Both the iQOO 13 and the OnePlus 13 do have those features, by the way. Alright everybody, that was all for my unboxing and full review of the all-new Realme GT7 Pro. What do you think about the device? Would you get one? Do let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Saying this, I'm Pratima, and thank you so much for watching.